Kevin Stefanski faces tough Shedeur Sanders decision amid Browns QB battle and injury curveballs. For weeks now, the Shedeur Sanders story in Cleveland felt like a throwaway subplot. A fifth-round pick buried at QB4, labeled developmental. Surrounded by seasoned veterans and flashier names. Most thought his story would be simple. Hold a clipboard, soak up wisdom. Maybe crack the depth chart next season. But here's the twist. The narrative isn't following the script. Instead, Sanders is turning heads. Quietly, consistently. And now, after 9 full days of training camp, he's not just in the quarterback conversation, he might be winning it. Yet just as momentum was tipping his way, the Browns got hit with a curveball that no one saw coming. Sanders is sidelined with shoulder soreness. And the timing couldn't be worse. The battle in Cleveland's quarterback room has never been more complicated or more compelling. From bottom of the depth chart to the talk of Camplet's rewind, when Shedeur Sanders was selected 144th overall by the Browns in April, he came in as a fifth-rounder slotted behind 3 quarterbacks. Former Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco, veteran Kenny Pickett, and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel. No one questioned where he stood. He was QB4. Even the team, in their silence, seemed to agree. But something funny happened on the way to irrelevance. Sanders outplayed them. On a recent episode of the 92.3 The Fan podcast, the hosts broke it down like this. If Sanders outperforms Dillon Gabriel, which everyone expects because the ceiling is higher for Shedeur, then things get real loud. And Gabriel has been that bad on the practice field. It's been a disaster this week. They weren't exaggerating by day 9 of training camp. Sanders had recorded 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and boasted an efficiency level that stood out. Not just among rookies, but across the entire quarterback group, and he did it with limited reps. Fewer throws, fewer chances, more production. His completion percentage, higher than Flacco's 58.7%, better than Pickett's 67.6%, miles ahead of Gabriel's 54.9%. These weren't empty reps either. He was decisive, clean, and most importantly, he looked like a pro. He is bigger and looks more like an NFL player, one insider noted. He moves with veteran-level poise. He's not reacting, he's anticipating. Dillon Gabriel falters. Shedeur rises while Shedeur quietly climbed. His competition faltered. Dillon Gabriel has had an especially rough stretch, completing just 3 of 14 with a pick on Friday, then following it up with a miserable 1 for 6 outing on Saturday. Confidence in Gabriel is crumbling, and his chances of securing a roster spot might be fading with it. Sanders, meanwhile, had a sharp 6 of 10 showing. No fireworks, just smart, efficient football. A few dimes across the middle, quick reads, smooth footwork, high-level pocket awareness. Every snap seemed to confirm what insiders had been whispering. Sanders might be better than advertised, perhaps even better than Flacco or Pickett right now, but just as fans were starting to believe, reality struck, the injury that changed the tone on Sunday. The Browns released a quiet but unsettling update. Shedeur Sanders would sit out of team drills with arm soreness. At first, it sounded like standard camp wear and tear, nothing to panic over. But the whispers started, and some of them were louder than expected. Insiders suggested it might be more serious than the team let on. The most alarming part, Sanders self-reported the soreness. That matters a lot. He's fighting for a job, and wouldn't miss reps unless he truly had to. Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot explained, "He knows the stakes. You don't pull yourself unless you're concerned. And the timing, brutal. Pickett is still out with a hamstring injury. Gabriel is sinking. Sanders was in prime position to cement himself as QB2 or even QB1B if Flacco continues to regress, with Flacco being, as some are quietly whispering, washed. This was Shedeur's moment to surge. Instead, he's on the sideline, watching others take his snaps. Bernie Kosar weighs in. Even Browns legend Bernie Kosar chimed in with a cautious note of wisdom. "We kill more QBs by forcing them in too soon," he said. "We love the hype, but it has to be measured." Still, Kosar couldn't help but tip his cap to the rookie. Shedeur. He's poised under pressure. That's rare. You can feel that steadiness. It's not normal for someone his age. What's next for Kevin Stefanski and the QB room? And now, the question that looms over Berea: what will Kevin Stefanski do? The Browns head coach has been measured in his comments. No overreactions, no headlines, just coach speak. He's working extremely hard. Still installing the stuff, Stefanski said when asked about Sanders. But he knows what's at stake. Pickett's hamstring is still bothering him. Gabriel is imploding. Flacco, while experienced, looks like his best days are in the rear view mirror. Sanders, despite the shoulder, has been the most impressive when healthy. So what happens now? If the soreness subsides and he returns by Tuesday or Wednesday, there's still time for Shedeur to re-establish momentum heading into the Browns' preseason opener on August 8th. But every missed rep is a lost opportunity. And in a battle this tight, timing is everything. The hidden stakes, more than a roster spot. What makes this story even more compelling is what's truly on the line. This isn't just about whether Shedeur Sanders makes the 53-man roster. This is about identity, for both the Browns and for Sanders. For Cleveland, it's a chance to nurture a legitimate young quarterback in a system built on play action, poise, and progression. If Sanders continues to blossom, he could be the long-term answer they've been chasing since Kosar himself. For Sanders, this isn't just a battle for relevance. It's a chance to silence doubters, to shed the Coach Prime's son narrative, to make it on his own name. And until the shoulder issue, he was doing just that. Preseason looms, make or break week as preseason approaches. Every rep carries more weight. The Browns face their first opponent on August 8th, and Stefanski will need to make some tough calls before then. Do they keep 4 QBs on the roster? Do they elevate Shedeur over Pickett or Gabriel? And what if, just what if, Sanders gets healthy in time and balls out under the lights? Momentum has a funny way of changing everything in the NFL, and right now, it's teetering. If Sanders returns to form this week, the spotlight will only grow hotter. Final word. A new chapter, maybe writing itself. This was supposed to be easy. Joe Flacco was the veteran. Kenny Pickett was the contender. Dylan Gabriel was the spark plug rookie. Shedeur Sanders, he was the project. But after 9 days, that story's been flipped on its head. Despite being drafted 144th overall, despite being slotted at QB4, and despite limited reps, Shedeur Sanders is now the biggest storyline coming out of Browns camp. But injuries change everything. And for now, the story pauses. What happens next depends on his recovery, the coaching staff's guts, and whether or not Stefanski is willing to throw away the script and follow the film. Because if you're watching closely, the tape doesn't lie. Stay tuned. The Browns QB battle is far from over, and Shedeur Sanders may still have the last word.